unbelievable.
More than words.
Some hits come out of nowhere. No warning, no buildup, just a voice, a hook, and suddenly the song is everywhere. 1991 was full of those moments. From Tony Terry's late night slow jam to Marky Mark's dance floor takeover, this list is all about those 1991 one-hit wonders who came in fast, hit hard, and never looked back. The Triplets, You Don't Have to Go Home Tonight. The Triplets had just the right blend of harmony and edge to cut through early 90s radio. You Don't Have to Go Home Tonight was their moment. Catchy, a little flirty, and easy to sing along to. It had just enough spark to stick, if only for a while. The song reached number 14 on the Billboard Hot 100 and gave the band their only top 40 appearance. They faded out quickly after, leaving this track behind as their one brief hit, a soft flash on a crowded chart. The next voice brought pure emotion, smooth, steady, and made to echo across late-night R&B stations. Tony Terry, With You. With You was one of those ballads that wrapped around you. Tony Terry had a voice that felt calm and close, like someone talking just to you. The song played at weddings, on quiet storm radio, and in the background of long drives. It peaked at number 14 on the Billboard Hot 100. While Terry continued making music, nothing else made it this far. This was his one true moment in the spotlight, and it still shows up on R&B playlists when someone needs to feel something. Next up, a group that came in smooth but left without a sound. The Rude Boys, Written All Over Your Face. This one had that slow burn energy. Written All Over Your Face was all soft vocals and late-night heartbreak. The Rude Boys delivered it with style, leaning into harmonies and emotion over flash. It felt honest, and that made it land.
Just smile, just smile, just smile, just smile for me, yeah.
The song reached number 16 on the Billboard Hot 100. That would be their only major pop chart moment. After that, the group disappeared from the mainstream, leaving behind one track that still gets quiet nods on grown folks' playlists. Then the softness fades, and things start to heat up a little. Up next is a freestyle flash that burned quick and bright. Corina, Temptation. Temptation hit hard on the freestyle scene. Corina stepped in with attitude, quick beats, and a voice that sounded made for dance floors and neon lights. The hook was sharp, the energy was high, and for a minute, it felt like she was here to stay. The track reached number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100, but Corina never made it back onto the pop charts. One hit, one classic for freestyle fans, and then she was gone. Still, the song holds up in any throwback set. Now for a song that was never about flash. It was about purpose, unity, and a rare moment of collective hope. Various artists, voices that care. Voices That Care was not your typical chart hit, it was a project. A group of celebrities, singers, and actors came together to raise morale for U.S. troops during the Gulf War. The result was a gentle anthem filled with star power and sincerity. The song peaked at number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100. It was never meant to launch careers. It was a moment frozen in time, and that's exactly how it's remembered. One song, one cause, and then silence. What comes next feels completely different. It's strange, funny, and somehow still made it onto the charts. Natural Selection, Do Anything. Do Anything had that playful early 90s groove. It mixed smooth vocals with a little rap, a little funk, and a lot of charm. Natural Selection made it feel fun and effortless, like something you'd hear on the radio during a summer drive with the windows down. The song climbed to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, but that was the peak. No follow-up hits, no second act. Do Anything was their one shot, and they made the most of it. A song that did exactly what it needed to do, then quietly faded away. Now things get a little weirder. The next track is part club, part commentary, and all attitude. LaTour, People Are Still Having Sex.
It's a fact that people are still having sex.
There's no subtle way to say it. People Are Still Having Sex was bold, deadpan, and surprisingly catchy. LaTour delivered it like a news bulletin over a pounding dance beat, and somehow it worked. Clubs loved it. Radio could not ignore it.
It's rather obvious. It's just what one expects.
It reached number 35 on the Billboard Hot 100. That was the only time LaTour cracked the chart. One weird, unforgettable track that still pops up in DJ sets when nobody's looking. It hit once, and that was more than enough. Things stay bold, but this time with a smirk and a slick pair of sunglasses. Gerardo, Rico, Suave. Rico Suave walked in shirtless and loud. Gerardo rapped, sang, danced, and smirked his way through a song that was equal parts satire and swagger. The beat slapped, the Spanglish flow worked, and whether people loved or hated it, they remembered it. The song peaked at number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100 and gave Gerardo his only major hit. It became a pop culture punchline, but it also made history as one of the first bilingual rap songs to chart that high. One big swing, and it stuck. Now we trade the flash for something more grounded. A voice, a piano, and a message that still resonates. Oleta Adams, Get Here. Get Here wasn't just a love song, it was a plea. Oleta Adams delivered it with such control and clarity that every line felt like a promise. No bells, no tricks, just a simple arrangement that landed right where it needed to. The song peaked at number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100. Though Adams had a respected career, this was her only major chart success in the U.S. Get Here became her signature song and one of the most powerful ballads of the year. And then out of nowhere came a young guy with a perfect hook and a title that said it all. Chesney Hawkes, The One and Only. The One and Only had that underdog energy. Chesney Hawkes was young, confident, and armed with a chorus that made you feel like you mattered. It sounded like a coming-of-age anthem, which made sense since it was tied to a movie with the same vibe. The track hit number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became Chesney's only big hit in the U.S. He stayed active overseas, but this was the one that stuck. A single anthem that still gets shouted at full volume when the chorus kicks in. Up next, a song that blurred the line between confidence and confession and somehow pulled both off. Divinyls, I Touch Myself. This one made people uncomfortable, and that was the point. I Touch Myself was bold, honest, and unapologetically vulnerable. Chrissy Amphlett sang it like a secret whispered out loud, flipping the usual love song formula on its head. The track climbed to number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100, giving Divinyls their only big U.S. hit. While they had a solid catalog back home in Australia, this was the only moment that crossed over. One raw, fearless track that still sparks conversations decades later. Now we take a step into something a little more poetic, a song about place, memory, and walking your truth. Marc Cohn, Walking in Memphis. Walking in Memphis felt like a journal entry set to music. Marc Cohn's voice carried a quiet kind of strength, and the lyrics painted a picture that felt personal, even if you'd never been to Tennessee. It was a spiritual road trip wrapped in soft piano and subtle conviction.
I was walking with my feet 10 feet off a beam.
The song reached number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100. It became Cohn's one big pop hit, even though he continued releasing strong albums. This was the song that defined him. One hit, built on storytelling that still lands years later. Next, a ballad so huge it broke the mold and became the softest power move of the year. Extreme, More Than Words.
More than words.
Extreme was a rock band, but More Than Words flipped expectations. No distortion, no drums, just an acoustic guitar, 2 voices, and a song that cut straight through the noise. It felt stripped down and real, like someone trying to say what they meant without saying too much.
'Cause I'm already.
It hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 And though Extreme released other singles, none came close to this. One love song, one huge hit, and a moment that stood completely apart from the band's usual sound. Then came a song that nobody could escape. It was loud, brash, and impossible to ignore. EMF, Unbelievable.
You're unbelievable.
This one hit like a slap in the face in the best way. Unbelievable was part rock, part rave, part chaos. EMF brought cheeky lyrics, that iconic O sample, and a track that sounded like the 90s were trying to punch through the speakers. It hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and turned the British band into brief US stars. But nothing else they released charted here. Unbelievable became their one and only crossover hit, and honestly, it was enough. The track still lives on in commercials, movies, and random gym playlists. But there was one song even bigger, one song that changed everything, for better or worse. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, Good Vibrations. This was more than a song. Good Vibrations was a full-blown moment. Marky Mark showed up shirtless, yelling over dance beats while Oleta Holloway's voice soared above it all. It was ridiculous. It was fun. It worked. The track hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Mark Wahlberg went on to become a movie star, but his music career started and stopped here. One song, one massive hit, and then he hung up the mic for good. You can laugh at it now, but this one took over everything. That's the list. 15 songs that caught lightning in a bottle in 1991. Some were weird, some were raw, some made you roll your eyes, but all of them stuck. If one of these tracks brought something back for you, drop it in the comments. And make sure to subscribe for more stories behind the songs that burned fast but never fully faded.